Good morning, everyone. It's Happy New Year! 2018 is here. Glory to God in the highest. Peace on earth, goodwill towards every man and woman and child, and androgynous people too, and the gays and the straights, the transgendered and the truly androgynous. How y'all doing today? Let's try to start this new year off more compassionate and more caring towards people in the world, right? Quit attacking people for things that happened 24 years ago yourself, where the person wasn't even in a position to do anything with the child anyway, and you're trying to make a mountain into a molehill, right? If it was a mountain, right? Or a molehill into a mountain, if it was a molehill, right? Any contact in that condition of being half asleep, half awake is not prosecuting by law if the child came in there to the person asleep and initiated the contact and let him do it to a point too, even if the second story were somewhat true, right? That's what I mean legally, and by telling you the second story too, right? Of two possible stories. See, your problem is you're obsessed with something and are trying to make me a criminal, right? Even if my wife was involved in it, she couldn't do that, right? Because I know good from evil, right? Even if I hear voices, right? And the voices cannot control me unless I let them, right? Now, that's what you're doing. You're letting whatever voice pops into your head, and you're letting it control you, right? To where you're murdering people. Maybe me too. But I'm exposing you as just cold-blooded murderers, right? Trying to murder an innocent man. Well, if there is a real Jesus and there's enough evidence to prove there is, right? It's helping me. And all three of its forms, by the way. And that's your problem, right? He is the trinity of persons, androgynous, male and female. And if there is three forms, it can be all three androgynous, all three male, and all three female too, right? And that's the most it can be, right? And the androgynous form is first, and then the male and female forms, right? Though, again, at least two of them, no more than six, right? And the reason is six is for different reasons too, and it's one male and female pair, right? Two male and female pair, and then three male and female pair. Probably at the most. And the androgynous image is the head image of all the images, right? It's from which the two come, and you can also, in heaven, morph. Now, the reason Jesus would have a child in heaven is because we do this here in the earth, right? I'm trying to explain that to you, too. Now, as Jesus' female side, he would divide her from himself and let her have a child, too. For what purpose, right? To make us one with him, right? To know what it's like to have a child in heaven, right? And the beast didn't get him pregnant, or the Roman soldier if he was to rape him either. Jesus went in there pregnant, right? By his own male side, right? He will not share his glory with another, right? Even if the person were to rape him, he already impregnated himself as a true hermaphrodite, right? He could even just ejaculate on his stomach and do it and put the sperm into the vagina, and it would still work that way, too. He knew what was going to happen because of Tamar and Dinah, right? Dinah was more of a consensual rape, but Tamar was raped by her own brother, right? Half brother. Well, that's why you're sick to accuse me of wanting to even be with a child, right? That would be entrapment anyway, trying to set me up with a 4-year-old, right? Sleeping on the couch. Like I said, I'm not saying that from memory. I'm saying that because I was sleeping on the couch for 5 to 6 days before I even met the child. She went and visited her dad first. And then, after all that, she could have had contact with me one of the 4 nights if I stayed up till the following week before I could get back on base. That's because I don't know how long it took me quite that far to get back on base. I know it was just within a week, right? I told you that before when we were arguing about it, right? That's why some of the details I don't even remember because I don't have a record of it, right? Some of it I do. And all I can do is guess what might could have happened, but only Daphne can say it happened. If she said it never happened, you can't prove it happened, right? Quit busting me and my ex-wife's chops because you can't get over something that happened to you if I was around you at that time too, right? The only one that could be is King or Ben, right? Now I hope my shipmates will let that shit go, and if I have a problem with David Maddox or even Myron, y'all can let that shit go, whatever I did, right? Because some things I don't remember and some things I do. If I did something to offend you, like when Myron wanted to watch a porno with me. Now again, I told you why I don't feel comfortable with that. I don't like watching pornos with a man, right? If you're comfortable with that, that's up to you, right? But I'm not as comfortable with that because of how I was treated in the Navy, Myron. That's not about me and you. That's how they were making me feel, right? They were always harassing me that I was gay, so when things like that happen, I get a little paranoid, right? I don't feel comfortable being around another male watching a porno where a male and female are having sex, I know. But not because of you, because of them, right? By the way. I'm not saying that about you, and if I offended you, sorry. That's all I can say, alright? Well, it's like I keep saying, I'm sorry to David for slapping Angel. I didn't mean to do that, right? It was just one time, bro. Bros before hoes. That's the main code. I know. I don't know if Tina and Kathy tried to pull some kind of menage shot trial with us, right? Or me, or you. But if they did, that would still be bros before hoes. Bros before hoes. You know what I mean? They would have to talk me into it real hard because I've never had a menage a trois, or if I did, you knock me out or something. But I understand. But God, that's just let all that shit go. That's a pass. And they would have to come on to me real hard. And I try to talk them out of it. Only if they insist and won't take no for an answer themselves, and then they just want a menage a trois. And I was able to use my pepe le pew. I guess I don't know. But I'll be joking with them, and like I said, if that happens, sorry, bro. I mean, but bros before hoes. If that happened too. But that's what I mean. Even I can heal. So I said, I'll let go. That's the past. I'm not that promiscuous normally anyway. And you really have to talk me into it, and I'm not trying to be with anyone anymore like that, right? If I had a menage a trois, that's in the past, right? I don't remember it. But we never, I don't remember if I did. Ain't that I don't want to, but again. And don't think I wasn't telling you, David's, girlfriend. But if they insisted, that would be the only way it would happen. And I'd try to talk them out of it, that. I didn't know that. If that happened. And I'm not saying this because of me, I'm saying that's because of current paranoia, right? By the way. Only you, Tina, or Kathy would know if that really happened. If you knocked me out or something, right? Or tried to attack me too, right? Like with the car accident, right? If they wanted a menage a trois. That's just paranoia, right? Trying to make sure it didn't happen too, if it didn't happen, right? Now, Tina freaked out when I showed her a condom and shit like that, because, again, I'm trying to be safe. I'm not trying to get her or Kathy pregnant if we were to have sex, right? You know what I mean? Right? Mm-hmm. But if that happened too, like I said, if you knock me out and I revived, it's God helping me, right? Because you would do the same thing. If they did the same thing to you, right? If they wanted it with you, you would do the same thing. Don't say you wouldn't. You're lying. They're again too. That's the point too, I know. And God don't like it when you play like you wouldn't do it when really you would, right? That's called real hypocrisy there, right? If that did happen. But those should be the only two problems we had if Kathy and Tina wanted a menage a trois, or if when I hit Angel, right? That was one time. And that's why I'm trying to explain both, if it both happened. I don't know. I know that definitely get Angel with that was causing stress on the ship, right? They're always harassing me that I was gay, and I thought she said I was a pedophile. I just hit her out of a, bad reaction to bad reaction. Because she made me think, she was saying, I would molest your son if you already have a son or something, right? And I misheard her or misunderstood it, right? I would never molest David's child. Any of his children. I wouldn't even have sex with David's children, right? Not supposed to do that, bros. Before, but family before bros too, right? I don't fuck family. I don't fuck family of my friends, right? I don't even fuck Teresa or John. Because again, sometimes brothers can get protective of their sisters, right? I want someone who's, I can be with, right? Now, if you're attacking me daily, I can't find a girlfriend because you're attacking me, asshole, right? They're not afraid of me, they're afraid of you and what you're doing to me, right? By the way. Try and get rid of me to try and get rid of you. And like I said, the biggest problem had to happen in the Navy, right? With Ben and Geet, right? And I'll keep using your names because guess what? You would hold the grudge the longest. Me and David, we knew each other before and after the military, right? As with Myron. We were real friends before y'all fucked me up. And they know that too. They know my behavior changed, right? And they know now why I didn't help them with the truck. They wouldn't show me what to do, right? And I didn't know what to do. And I was just there and they wouldn't show me where they were at, even in the book, right? Well, you got to show me what you want me to do, dumbasses. I know. That I get to call you dumbass with, right? Because you were assuming I wasn't working when I was just standing around waiting for you to show me what you wanted to do, right? No one knows everything, asshole, and I was there, but you weren't showing me where you were at in the book. You see what I mean? If you're at a certain place and you bring me in, you gotta show me where you're at so I can join you, dumbass. That's where you're being a dumbass and an asshole, right? Yeah, you were. Quit being a jerk about it, too, if you are. That was the fucking long time ago, too, right? And I can't help you if you don't show me where you're at. In the book. And what you want me to do next, right? But I was there. That's all I could do is stand around until you show me where you're at in the book, or you show me what you want me to do, right? Specifically, right? Because I never did that before myself, and I know you were trying to fix it, but you got revenge on it with the fucking Camaro. Get over it, Myron. You're trying to do fucking Chicken Little or something, or the chicken that gathered the stuff for the bread, and then not being a friend. Were you ever my friend, Myron? Or was I just your little gas money or whatever, right? You are David now, I know. Because y'all out my life too, and I wonder if y'all are my friends now too, right? Not because of you, but like I said, the stress in the Navy. We used to be good friends, I guess. Or was that pretend for you too, right? Or are they turning you against me too, right? I have no more friends. Or friends like you who needs enemies anyway. You know what I mean. If you can't let go of certain comments because you're acting weird around me too, and I'm being paranoid by them, not you. You were never a good friend anyway, I know. And if you're taking their side and you grew up around me, you know me better than that too, right? Or you should. While we hanging out all the time, were you cruising for a piece of ass or something, right? Y'all always homophobic around me, right? Too. Acting gay one minute and straight the next, right? I'm just looking for a female like you were. Like, I guess you were, right? And you can't tell someone how they feel, Myron. I was raised in the same South you did. In a way, I have the same homophobia you have, right? But in a way, I'm trying to get over that because we're not supposed to be homophobic. We're really not. Homosexuals aren't the problem. What about Ray Chance? I hear he's gay. He really went gay. He really went gay. But I saw Ray, and I'm still his friend. I'm still his friend. I don't hate Ray for going gay, but if he wants my ass, that just ain't happen, right? Right. That's all it means. That's all it means. I accept Ray as a gay man, right? If he wants to be with another man, that's fine. That's fine. That's in his DNA, right? He can't help it. He can't help it. And some people can't. Some people can't. But all you can do is pray for people, man. You can't change who they are, right? And you know, I'm not gay at all. I get boners with females, and not you or David. Unless I'm humping the fucking bed or having a wet dream, and that's a different thing. That's a different thing. I'm not thinking of David. I'm thinking of either Tina, if I was to do that around them, or something like that, right? Might even think of another chick, but it's a chick. I guarantee you, when I was humping the bed, right? I ain't doing it. It's called a wet dream. When you're humping the bed, or you're humping someone laying next to you, you're thinking, you're having what's called a REM sleep, a dream. And it ain't about you or David if I was to do it around you too, right? Or on you too, right? And you're supposed to wake the person up like David did, right? Again. Or let him sleep on the couch or in another bed, right? I'm cool with that. Well, like I said, and if I'm sleeping on the couch and the girl comes in there to be on the something, what would you do? I don't know who it is, no matter who it is. But again, I like Norma Jean. But maybe she thought she was too old for me, and I understand that too, right? And I assume she married Tom, right? I don't change what happened or didn't happen that I remember, right? Because then you would talk about either dad or mom trying to hurt me, right? And I hope that didn't happen either, but I don't know. Now I'm wondering what the hell I've been through, right? I'm thinking crazier thoughts, but I know they're crazy. Trust me, I know crazy enough to fight off crazy, But some people might not, especially if they're hit with 450 volts and 10,000 amps and should have died. Luckily, I got Lieutenant Guzman who saved him, but again, I didn't even save him because I didn't know what to do there. I knew a little bit of CPR from swimming course, right? But I got Lieutenant Guzman to get someone to call who to do what. I didn't know what else to do, right? I'm a novice. I don't know anything, right? I wouldn't even know where he was at behind the bus. If he was behind the bus until I got to where I could see him. Stupid. If you have any brains left, please use it. And think about it rationally if you can, asshole. I know it's got to be you or Ben, because no one would hold a grudge against someone this long. And you can be as sure as you won't. But I'm not. And why don't you ask Lieutenant Guzman to bring him into it? He was probably the only one on my side until he got off the ship. What y'all do to me after that shit? I wonder. And what would I reference if you were to do it to me, the car accident? That's all I really remember too, right? I wouldn't remember if me and David had some kind of beef, but over Tina and Kathy, but again. But David would know if that really happened too. Not me. Did it happen, David? No, probably not. He knows I'm not trying to fuck my best friend's girlfriend, right? I don't do that. Not consciously. And like I said, they really have suppressed the issue, right? But I did hit Angel, and that was because of them, though, right? They're harassing me, I'm gay, and stuff like that, right? And I would never hurt your son either, or have sex with your son. And Dakota's old enough, I won't be with him either. They can't make me gay when I'm straight, bro. And bro, before I ask, too, right? In my mind, male or female. I don't even want a female's ass, right? I'm that homophobic, right? Right, Maribel? Mm-hmm. She tried to offer me it, and I sort of played around with it, but it was a final no, so it didn't happen. I sort of resisted at first, and she's trying to sort of talk me into it, and I said, well, maybe it's up to you, right? But then she said that, right? So again, but it was her idea, not mine. So I was just sort of playing around with that. Females ass ain't the same as males either. And I'm still wanting the pussy more than the ass, right? That might have been a one-time thing if she let it happen, right? Only with a female. Now, if it's a transgender female and she had the surgery, you don't know that either unless there's something else going on, right? The only way I could be with a female is if they're full female or a transgender female with no penis. That's the only female I would be with this transgender too, right? Is one that cuts it off, right? And wants to be a full woman, right? And that would only happen to a point if the transgender person lies, right? It says it's a real female when it was born male, right? But then I'll keep pressing the issue if they don't have a child or something with me, because I'm O positive. I can get any female pregnant, except maybe O negative, and maybe even though negative could have the O positive child, but only one child. That's how it works. You can still sort of survive a pregnancy like that, but it could also cause the death of the mother in a point too, right? And there's a reason for that, right? Because the blood is not quite compatible, right? And you're carrying the child for 9 months. And whether you like it or not, the blood diffuses back and forth. That's what it's called when you do that, right? If it's not a direct bloodline to the child, what it is called diffusion, right? Even Jesus, when he was in Mary's womb, the blood diffused into him, right? Making him human, right? From angelic. That's why he died on the cross, but that's also why he can morph and stuff like that too still, right? He was still the firstborn of every creature, like Paul said, right? And things like that, right? Now, y'all gotta let this shit go or I'll keep fighting you on it. You understand? Even about the copyright. I'm writing that, and you're wrong. If y'all want to keep arguing about it, I keep arguing about it with you, because I'm not doing that wrong. You are. Now, like I said, it's stupid to bring someone who can't sing at all into a soundboard, right? Into the studio, right? But again, some of them are admitting they do it that way, right? That's better than mine, right? But that's also why you're having lower record sales too, because no one wants to buy the product of someone who can't really sing either. You know that, true, right? Some people just can't afford it, And really, the market is about between 1 to 30 million, right? Well, I don't know a million people. A lot of people don't, right? So is it a connection like with the payola scam too, right? That would be a fraud too, right? Because then you're having people buy the record for you, and that's sort of a scam. Like with payola, right? There's people not, and that's not real, profit, but it's a profit, you know what I mean? It's kind of sort of, 50-50, it's getting people that, right? To buy the CD, right? Like I said, and then you have these clubs and things like that, like I said. Or you buy one CD, you get 10, right? Things like that, right? And again, that's cool, but like I said, that's more what the CDs. I think a CD should be priced between $5 to maybe $7, but not fucking 11 or higher. Y'all charging too much for those things, right? Y'all, they're 10 cents to even buy, right? Unrecorded. And like I said, y'all trying to control the market and corner the market too, right? And you're controlling who can become a star and who can't. That's why whoever's accusing me of pedophilia is just trying to prevent me from telling my side of the story, right? Because they don't want it known, right? They don't want it known I'm not a pedophile. They want me to be a pedophile. Because they have it out for me. They want me to be a bad guy when I wouldn't do what they are accusing me of, right? And an accusation is something you can't prove. If I touched anything, what would be on it, King? DNA. My fingerprints, asshole. If you thought I did it, well, all you would have to do is swab the fucking breaker, see if there's fingerprints on it, and then I did it. If there ain't no fingerprints on it, or you didn't do it then, you're accusing me. And that's an accusation you can't prove. I didn't want to prove it, didn't try to prove, because you probably know in your heart of hearts I didn't do it, but something turned you against me. Something evil within you. And now maybe it's associated with the electrocution itself. I know that too. I've heard of people going crazy if they're electrocuted too, right? But again, not me if you electrocute me after that. But you can only do that in the code red, right? Like in A Few Good Men, right? If your code red me after Lieutenant Guzman got off the ship, because I know he was on my side, right? He was trying to help me learn because I was trying to do my job, right? Well, you were just waiting for him to get off the ship. When you got new ensign, you had his ear right away. And same with the chief. He turned everyone against me, even Ace Vito, right? Was on my side, right? And like I said, I can't defend myself against an accusation you're not making to me, right? And if you done made up your mind or your code read me, and I'm popping back up in my barracks or something, in the barracks, or the, what's it called? The berthing area, right? If you can't code red me around anyone unless they're all in on it, right? You have to take me to an isolated location on the ship, right? With the weapon of some sort, right? And I might go with you, right? Reason is I don't want you to hurt anyone else or wake anyone else up either. But when we get along, I'll fight you to the death, right? Death before dishonor, right? Shit like that, right? And you're trying to make me confess something I didn't do, right? I'll never confess something I didn't do, right? Unless it's jokingly, right? And the way I'll do it is what? I'll say it was a dream, right? Because that's not supposed to happen when me and my wife went to sleep unless someone else coached her to do it. And that's why you would have to ask her who showed her that. But just because he said grandma, don't mean it was the grandma or who actually did it. I wouldn't know. But there's 3 grandmas, even if she did say grandma, and that can be a male coaching her too, and it also could have been Sal or her dad, but again, it's not provable in a court of law, even if it was them, right? Coaching her. It's a theory, right? It's a hypothetical, right? If it were to really happen after we went to sleep, and her earlier in the evening, and me later, until I moved back to base. Anyway, because a man usually watches TV till around 11 and goes to sleep even on the weekends, right? And like I said, that's the only thing that might could happen. That's a pattern, right? But I was never alone with her. Daphne was always there. She would have to be, actually, like I said before, purposely sent her in there to me, right? And that would seem like sort of a murder spot to anyone anyway. Not only was she trying to get rid of me, she was trying to make me commit a felony with her daughter, so she might could even abort Jonathan or something. And that's why I didn't do it. That's why I didn't do it. Not just for my sake, but for Amanda's sake and for Jonathan's sake too. I couldn't do that. Not consciously, and semi-consciously, I might would sort of do certain things, but that's why I told this second possibility, right? There's only 2 real possibilities you might can do when you wake up with the stepdaughter Indian there with you. And if you ask her who shared her that, that's what you're supposed to do, because she's not supposed to be doing anything like that with you, right? In either story. She's not supposed to come in there and wake you up with her vagina in your face, nor is she supposed to let you undress her in the second story either. And I don't know which one she would have done with me either. Because of what? Head trauma. 3 weeks later. And I don't know how the head trauma occurred. I don't know how the fall happened after I blacked out, right? Unless you're saying you attacked me in the front or I called Pastor Thomas. Because me and Daphne were basically done, and she would be the last person I would call. First, I would tell the people on base. Then I would tell Pastor Thomas. And then, if none of that worked, I would go to Daphne, right? Well, in order. So if I was attacked by anyone, it would be those in the front, because those would be the first person you would tell if you survived it, right? Then I would call Pastor Thomas if y'all didn't believe me, and then if I couldn't get a ride out with him, right, Then I would call Daphne, right? In that order. And the reason is what, right? If I survived it, I would be excited I survived it, right? I know only a ninja in my mind could do that, you know. And even if you challenge me to sort of do it again, I'll say, well, I'll show you how I got on the roof, and that should be enough, right? You're not supposed to keep doing something over and over again without more training, right? And that was just sort of a one-time thing. It's stupid to keep doing something over and over again, right? And like I said, you're not supposed to tempt the Lord either in that, right? When the Lord was took us to the top of the temple, you know, you're not supposed to really jump from a 3-story building, right? But mine was sort of an accident 50-50, and I might have landed it, right? Well, then it turned into a murder plot, right? If I landed it, right? And they could be holding a grudge, right? But I would first tell the people on base, then Pastor Thomas, and then if I had to, Daphne. That's what I mean. My wife wouldn't even know about it, right? But people on base and maybe Pastor Thomas, but that's only if the people on base didn't have a problem with it, right? Right. And didn't believe me, wanted to get into a fight when I told him I was a ninja, started into jiu-jitsu, right? Now, I'm not saying I'm a fully trained ninja. I'm saying I trained into jiu-jitsu when I was younger, right? And it's just a little bit of training into it by reading a book by Stephen K. Hayes. And I'll tell you all that, right? And how I did it. And I could even get up on the roof of our trailer and jump off of our trailer without even having to climb it using a gymnastic technique too, right? Where you swing around the bar one time. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. And I'll at least show them to that point and then come back down, right? I ain't going to do the 3-story fall again because you're not supposed to tempt the Lord in that, right? If you survive it once, you don't do it again. You don't do it again. All right. Unless you get further training, and that will be later anyway. And you don't obsess over something you did. Either you just do it one time and hope you don't have to do it again too, right? You don't put yourself purposely in danger either. And I didn't. I didn't have a choice because I got locked out of my room, right? Even if the key and the money was still in the room, I would tell them that too. And of course, that's another possibility of what happened too, right? But when they got into the room the following morning, either the money was sold after that, or I was right and someone got the key that night as well and got the money. Only two things that could have happened there too, right? But again, according to security, I guess, when they got into the room the next morning, there was no money there, right? But the second story, if I did land the fall, security would be involved with it because they would have to be caught if I was forced to get into a fight, right? To stop the fight, right? And then we would talk about it naturally, and then unless one of the security guards went batshit on me, one of the security guards would have to have a nightstick to do anything more, so I don't remember what happened, right? And only a weapon can do all that kind of damage, right? And they keep acting like they're a badass, but you're not fighting me one-on-one, you're fighting me with a weapon, right? And I told you, I'm not really getting any training further in that, right? How to defeat a weapon. And I know you can't hit me right away even with the weapon, because when I was training with the ninjutsu at 44 Leisure Drive, when you swing to hit someone, I know I can at least jump back and forth and you miss me, right? Because I did that with a guy I was, trying to teach martial arts to, right? And I did that with a couple guys, right? Around me, right? I tried to do a backflip on them and they let me go, but again, I don't know if I got all the way around, but again. I was trying to do a black flip and they sort of let me go, and then I don't know if I fully did it or not, but again. I was doing that based upon the master, where Shokatsugi was held by two guys and he did a flip, right? He just escaped the hold, right? That was all I was going to do, but again, I don't know if I did the flip or not, but I started to, and then they let me go. Then I don't know if I made it fully around or not, but probably didn't. But again, I don't quite remember all the details, but I was trying to do a flip, right? I wasn't trying to hurt him, but it was a back flip based off of what I remember Sho Kosugi doing, and I was pretty sure I could do it, right? Now, I had really further training except into karate a little bit and broke my first board in 2015, right? Or 16, yeah. Sorry. Yeah. And again, they're challenging me to do this shit, and I do it, and then they get, pissy with me, right? Like I'm showing off. It was just an instinct board, asshole. Again. So that shows I can do it. Fuck you, fuck you. And like I said, I never did it before. My first board. Two tries, alright? And you're the one challenging me to do this shit, right? And you're pissed off I'm doing it. It's like with the bitch pressing 400 pounds without a spotter. And I can't do that, right? You're insane. And now I can probably deadlift 400 pounds, right? And I could probably maybe, if I work up to it, upright row it without hurting myself or anyone else, right? I might start doing that. I'm up to 400 pounds of weight now, right? I bought some weights from Sears. I might even get 500 pounds if I can afford it, right? I'm looking through my finances. I need to buy me some gi bottoms because the ones they gave me are elastic and they're too tight, right? And they don't want to exchange it, Century. Why can't I just exchange the fucking elastic pants for some fucking drawstring pants, assholes? It should be less money for the fucking drawstring, assholes. Fucking Century Martial Arts there too, assholes. Should be able to just switch them out, right? And all I need is a red, black, and white pair. Y'all a bunch of dicks. Especially when you train people in martial arts, that's self-defense. You don't attack someone who just wants to trade out elastic gis for drawstring gis, assholes. And you just make the switch, and that's what any good business would do anyway. Damn, what's wrong with people? But anyway, talking to someone on, I was talking with someone about that, and they wouldn't even do it. They wouldn't even do it. And all you got to do is trade it out for the drawstring, which should be a profit for you anyway. And I give you back the elastic. What's wrong with that? Someone calls themselves Lisa or something, right? Or Lisa. I don't know. But anyway, or Renee, I think, right? But that's the point. And why can't I just wash the fucking pants if I use them one time and then get the drawstrings instead of the elastic? What's wrong with you? You're just a bunch of assholes. And Cliff Yon's become an asshole, right? I think. And like I said, the people I used to be around are acting different now too, right? They're taking this shit seriously, right? When I'm telling them I'm purposely making it up for a reason, right? And they won't believe me I'm making it up. They're letting a mental illness that developed in the military, and they knew me before the military too, right? I didn't act this way, asshole, Cliff, before I joined the Navy, and you know it, you dick. Unless you really hit Donna in the eye and they're lying about it, like I said. That's supposed to be a fucking scene from the fucking Karate Kid anyway. Where Martin Cove attacked the students, right? Well, you wouldn't have sucker punched Donna and hit her in the fucking eye. You're not supposed to do that if you're a karate instructor. And not sucker punch her where she didn't even have her guard up. That's a sucker punch. That's why I challenge you not to do it with me, because I kick your ass. I would see you move, old man. And I'll bust your fucking head. And, wide open. And Donna was probably talking to you about training me further and stuff like that. Maybe. Because I met her at our local church. She came out there one time, right? Or a few times. And she heard me sing there too with the choir. And again, we put on a good show. I put on a good show, right? Whether it's a big church or a small church, right? I sung "O Come, O Come Emmanuel" at the Primitive Baptist Church on Smith Avenue, right? O come, Emmanuel, and ransom captive Israel. I can be a cantor. I can be a cantor. A Jewish cantor. A Jewish cantor. Though you're vain and won't let nobody touch you, asshole. That's not God. That's not God. That's Satan. That's Satan. You're trying to play us touch the tree. No, it's fuck the tree, asshole. Don't fuck the tree. Not touch it. Not touch it. You can even kiss somebody and that not be an offense. I know. But what is offense is you're not letting anyone touch you. You're being a little germaphobe, right, Howie? Something made you a germaphobe, right? Is it the Jewish religion that made you a homophobe? Don't touch me. Don't touch me. You're a Jew, Howie. And Jews are very, what? No touchy-feely? No touchy-feely. Hope you don't have a sex with your wife with a sheet on top of her. Either. That's your religion, man. Fucking with your head. Fucking with your head. Trust me, I know you can fuck with your head. But like I said, something's making you, giving you ADD and stuff like that, and making you real paranoid about germs, right? Yes, we live in a germ environment, but wash your hands. How many times? One time. And you're fine. You're fine. To be clean means what? You wash yourself at least every other day, Howie. That's why you're a germaphobe, right? That's really what you are, a germaphobe, because of the Jewish religion, right? Don't touch me, don't touch. Well, you're not the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, are you? That's what Eve was told not to touch. At least she died. At least she died. Well, she did more than touch it. Trust me, trust me. She fucked it. She fucked it. That's what y'all won't understand either. The way Moses told the story was to bring out a truth he didn't know if you could understand anyway. And like he said, you just don't want to hear the metaphor within the real story. Why he told it the way he did too, right? And even if it happened that way, there's a reason everything happened that way too. It wasn't to trick Adam into eating it. It was a clear warning not to touch it, right? But they not only touched it, they fucked it, Howie. That was probably what God didn't want them to really do, right? And that's why you're a homophobe. I mean, not a germaphobe, right? Not a homophobe, but maybe you're a homophobe too. I don't know. But again, a germaphobe. You're afraid of germs, right? Because of the Jewish religion. I know what I know, Mom. Don't pee on my leg, Howard, and tell me this right here. I know what's going on. I know what's going on. Are you a closet Jew too? And it's like being a closeted homosexual. You know, you don't want people to know. You don't want people to know. But they know. That's a Jewish mental illness, by the way, right? Don't touch me, right? You know. Even if I'm about to die, don't touch me. That's a bad Jewish tradition. And the reason it's a bad Jewish tradition is it makes you paranoid about diseases, which is what's happening with you. And if you can grasp your problem, right, you can, like with any problem, like AAA or Alcoholics Anonymous or whatever, right, stop doing it. But no one likes you being a germaphobe, and you're afraid to be around even your own family, right? Wacko. That's your religion. And that's a satanic religion. And the reason it's a satanic religion is you're isolating yourself from your own family. I'm forced to try and protect my family in case I'm being attacked. That's different, Howie, right? You're worried about germs in the air. Well, guess what? You don't have to have contact with a person. Even an object can spread a disease. What now? That will make you more paranoid, right? Then you have to live in a cave or something. And even the cave can get germs in it, right? What you gonna do, man? We live in a germ world, right? What you gotta do is get over your germophobia. Sorry about the homophobia, but again, and that's for Myron and David or whoever's homophobic about me, or Ben and King, right? Because again, they're homophobic now, right? I don't even see Byron or David anymore. I'm just trying to find a girlfriend like Alice was Byron, right? You know I date girls. You know I date girls. You had to do both, right? But I don't fuck your girl. I never did that shit, right? Unless the girl's fucking us all and lying about it, right? But she would have to lie about it to me, and I'd ask her, "Are you fucking anyone?" Right? I won't be with you if I want anyone. If I had to, I asked Steve too. I asked Steve, and he said no, and he said no. I told Marcine that, my mom that, right? And he's the only one she might have been fucking or Bart or Miles. And I kept asking her that too. She kept saying no, or anyone. And I believe her. But the stress wasn't from all that, and the stress was from how she was treating me, and not ending the relationship with Bart, right? And using him as an excuse to not be with me and Steve too, right? I wanted someone who wanted to be with me and live the rest of their life with me too, right? Whether I got her pregnant or not. The pregnancy was a fluke too, right? I didn't say that would happen, right? If she did. Sorry. But yeah, you have more coincidences. You called them coincidences, I thought they were signs, but I agreed with you over myself. So I mean too, that's what I mean too. Being in love with someone, honey, paranoid schizophrenic or not, don't mean I didn't really love you. No. I wasn't trying to. But like I said, who's making you paranoid outside of that? Bart or Steve? Or your mom or family? That's why I told you maybe in Tagalog without even studying it a whole lot. And sung to you in Tagalog. Who does that? But anointed man of God. I never studied your language to do all that. Now I can look it up, stupid. Not then. I didn't even have a computer in my house. We didn't have laptops or anything like that, right? That was in 94 too, 95 too. We dated from 95 to September 96, so no. That's when you might have got pregnant, right? But you're treating me like shit, I know. And like Pat Benatar said, if you're going to date me, treat me right or break up with me, or I'll break up with you, stupid, right? If you don't agree with me, you didn't agree with me. It don't matter who it is, you, Sheena, Daphne, none of y'all wanted a real long-term relationship with me either. I'm not trying to force you, I'm trying to love you. And you don't see the difference, see it. And if you're going batshit on me or whoever the fuck it is, I can't change what happened. And you're just having a problem with it because it's not what you wanted, but nor is it what I wanted either. And I didn't want to get you pregnant, I didn't know that would happen. But now that you told me 3 years later, I consider the fact that I might have, that I could only, not do it again. And that's what you're showing me. If I did get you pregnant, you don't want me back, right? Fine. I'm just trying to develop a relationship with Patrick more than you, and then you get pissed off of that too. What's wrong with you? You don't know what you want either. And you're trying to manipulate me away from my son. And if he's my son. And more than likely, if you were only with me, and then Scott, 3 months apart, he's mine, he's yours. And that's why Scott divorced you. That's why you're with Michael. He's probably trying to convince you too. I don't know what's wrong with you. I don't know what's wrong with you. And you're all acting crazy. You're all my ex-girlfriends. And I have moved on from you, bitch. I just can't find another girlfriend because of what you're doing now, stupid. Molly tried, but I ain't heard from her either. Because she went crazy after we had sex. Started trying to accuse me of raping her too when she was on top. What the fuck? What's wrong with you? And that's why I warned you about getting pregnant. I want to get the spermicide and went to Walmart, right? If you wanted more sex, right? But honey, all it takes is one fucking sperm. Unless you're transgendered, honey. You could get pregnant even by a paranoid schizophrenic if you fuck you one time. At the right time. That's why I wanted the spermicide if we were to do anything more, right? I'm trying to protect you and you wouldn't let me. And I warned you about getting pregnant. You went off acting like you did the test when I know you didn't. And don't tell me if you did, you would have to abort it, right? And if you did, fine. I understand. You didn't want a child either. Like with Sheena, she tried to abort it on the ship, right? Because see, the Navy don't support abortion at that time, unless you commit a felony, right? That's what I was worried Daphne was trying to do if she would let Amanda go in there too, right? That's why I wouldn't do it. That's why I wouldn't do it. And she can't pretend even if I was to simulate licking her, and the key word is simulate, right? you can get this reproduction, and that's to see if she'll let me, right? If Daphne purposely said that to me. And I, of course, expected her to say, Mom wanted me to do it, right? But she said Grandma, so that raised another red flag, right? That's with her relationship. Then Gina's, and then Mary Beth's, right? And now I'm Molly's, and whoever else it was. But I'm not saying you did. But you can't fuck someone close to your ovulation period like you even care or know when it is, right? And I'm trying to explain to you how that works, right? Every 14 days after your period, you ovulate, dumbass bitches, and that's when you can get pregnant. If you're with me when you're about to ovulate, you'll get pregnant. You'll get pregnant. I'm a fucking positive. I mean, you first fucking done, dumbass. The only one I might have a problem with would be O negative, right? And that's if I don't have a recessive O negative, and even an O negative person can have one O positive child. One. Not two, one. That's why Mary Bell can only have one child unless she's with someone O negative too, right? She can't have another positive child, right? Unless they say you might get a shot or something. That depends. She's got to be very careful about any pregnancy, right? Now, like I told her before, I'm O positive. If I'm O negative recessive, I'm the only one who might get her pregnant or someone with a similar blood type. That's what I keep telling her too. If you want to move on from me, first, look into the guy's blood type, dumbass. I keep telling you how it works. No one wants to believe you. No one wants to believe me, right? And I'm trying to move on from you, but I cannot force date someone. I didn't force date you. I didn't force date Sheena. I didn't force date Daphne. Our problem happened afterwards, and I think Sheena involved my shipmates because she's the only one to write me on the ship, stupid. And they're trying to get me off the ship and prove I'm gay, right? Yeah. They're also pissed off with King being electrocuted. By me. Not. I don't even know where he was behind the bus anyway, I know. Or if he was in a position to turn the breaker on or off, right? I don't even remember if there was a rad tag. I mean, all I know is he got electrocuted and I got Lieutenant Guzman behind me. That's not me being here. To me, Lieutenant Guzman was here because he knew what to do. I didn't. No, I did get him for you. Thanks. That's what I'm supposed to do, right? As a new guy on the ship. That's all I can do, right? I don't know the numbers to anything either. I didn't know the numbers to the medical triage on the ship, right? I didn't know anything. And all I could have done is got Lieutenant Guzman, which is what I'm supposed to do, right? And that's all I'm claiming I would do. Now, if you're repeatedly trying to code red me every night, what the fuck? And I know you couldn't do it with Lieutenant Guzman on board, but when he got off, you got the new ensign under your thumb. And that means you had his ear. And I wasn't even trying to get his ear about that shit. Don't mean I forgot it, but again, I don't obsess over something when I did the right thing, right? Lieutenant Guzman was right there. Now, you don't remember Lieutenant Guzman being down there? Or are you lying about that too? Because when I went down there, he was already behind on the side of the bus, right? And you were behind the bus. I couldn't even see where you're at, even if I was to turn on the breaker, right? And I know I'm not supposed to. He told me not to touch anything. See, you got to ask him, Navy. Not King. He done made up his mind. I did it, right? He's prejudiced against me, no matter what I say. But Lieutenant Guzman was there, too. And he's lying out his ass if he says he wasn't. I'm not qualified to do any electrical work at that time. And I wouldn't know what to do anyway. And whether I turn on the breaker or not, which would be incidental even if I did, right? But if I did, there wasn't no red tag on it, right? Would be the only way I would if I turned it on or off, right? And I don't remember that detail, right? Because that wasn't what I was told to do by the lieutenant, right? He just wanted me to observe only, right? He's trying to change the whole story. And the only one who would know would be Lieutenant Guzman, and you know he was on the fucking ship too, right? Or your line. For King to cover his ass, not mine. And you can't play favorites just because he was more qualified and shouldn't have got electrocuted by his dumbass self, right? He should have known better, right? Than to just touch the breaker from someone who looked like his co-worker too. I still look more like him than, that's what I think really happened, right? Mistaken identity, right? When I was younger, right? Now, he's taller than me, but all I did was stick my head around the corner, and he probably thought I was him, right? I keep trying to explain what I think really happened, and you won't hear me. You're listening to King. And if you won't listen to me either, assholes, what can I fucking do but remain a disabled veteran? Jesus can't even really heal me because you don't want to pay me shit. You don't even want to pay me for the disabilities. Right. You're only paying me for the schizophrenia, right? Well, I had people before I met you assholes, even if there were druggies in your mind. Don't mean a druggie don't know right from wrong, asshole. That's the point. You're prejudiced people. You're set in your ways. No one can break through that thick wall of yours. You know everything when you don't. No one knows everything but God, and you're not God. You're just a bunch of men playing God. Using rank and privilege sometimes, even when you're wrong. And no one can beat rank and privilege 100%, right? Unless I have a certain rank you don't have in the army of God that I'm developing with Jesus' help. By the way, and like I told you before, if all you have to do to get Jesus to help you is give him and God the glory, I bet you wouldn't even do that. I bet you wouldn't even do that. Right, Joyce? But I bet me and Joyce would. If God was to help us. Point there. So, when someone's manipulating you, Joyce, you don't know what to do, right? You don't know that God will help you because they want you to focus on what you see, not what you hear, right? Not what they don't want you to believe in God who you can't see either. Know what I mean, right? And you have to call on the name of God to be saved, right? If you don't call on, now at the car accident, I can call on it before they attack me, right? And they're trying to make me look like a pussy in both accidents, right? But they won't fight me man on man, right? I know they won't. A real coward is someone who won't fight you man to man, but wants to call you a coward behind your back and tell bad stories on you to your shipmates to where you can't even work on the ship. Though if you can do an easier job and you know you won't get electrocuted, you can do that, right? I was doing that, right? Even the guys in the engineering department saw my willingness to work, right? But not you. I'm sorry, Sheena, if they made you do all that to yourself, but it wasn't me. Maybe you can't have a baby now yourself. I don't know. Because I don't know how many times you would have to throw yourself down the stairs, which is the only way you could abort the child on the ship, right? And you would have to do so much damage to your womb anyway to lose the child, right? It's like sticking a clothes hanger up there and trying to pull it out. But that's another method. Well, you're ripping your womb out, stupid. That's another method I've heard you can use, right? I hope you didn't do that. That would fuck up your ability to have children. And I've heard of both methods. Either you throw yourself down to where you lose the baby, or you put a coat hanger up there trying to get the baby out, right? Those are the only two methods I've heard of if you can't get an abortion, right? Because you're in the Navy. I know both methods. One from the movie Hot Spot with Jennifer and Don, and Virginia Madsen. And then with, I've seen some show that was talking about girls sticking a clothes hanger up their vagina to get the baby out too, right? To have an abortion, right? And that's why medically sanctioned abortion if the girl don't want the baby, it's the best thing for them, right? Not what you're trying to force them to do, Christians. Even God killed Uriah's baby. And trust me, it wasn't David's baby, it was Uriah's. Dumbasses. Because Bathsheba was playing the Game of Thrones, right? For real, with David, right? Because David wasn't where he was supposed to be, and she was pissed off because my husband's at war and he's sitting here in his fucking palace. You get the point, Yeah, Solomon and the other children are David's, right? She didn't really have a choice after that, right? But not the first one, not the first one. That was Uriah. Stupid. Why was she called Uriah's wife by Matthew? She was pregnant with Uriah's baby. right. Dumbasses. I don't even want to see that, do you? In the metaphor. Why she was with David while her husband was at war and he was in the palace. What she was doing. Really pay attention to some things, because it might enlighten you even if it's a short story what's really going on, right? Well, I bet she did that. And she knew she was, probably a pretty woman. And she knew David would see her out in the thing naked, right? She knew what she was doing. And she killed her own child with Uriah. Because God couldn't let Uriah's son assume the throne, right? And had to kill the child, before he was circumcised too, right? Because if he's circumcised, then the Jewish law applies, right? There too. That's an abortion, by the way. That's an abortion that God performed on the child who was Uriah's baby, right? So he will allow you to abort a child. He would even do it himself, right? So you can't have the throne of David, stupid. That's what she was trying to do, usurp the throne of David with her child, right? And that's why God had to kill the child 7 days after he was born. Now David did the right thing because he thought it was really his. And that's just his naivete about, the Jewish law too, right? Uriah is supposed to have sex with his wife, didn't get about, right? Well, if he did, she was already pregnant, stupid. More than likely, and she just tried to target David because he was at home in the palace, right? Y'all don't want to see between the lines, right? It's a short story telling you some of the details, but also some of the details are left out, like John said at the end of the Gospels, right? We're not telling you everything, stupid, just some of the things he did, so you might believe, right? If we were to write everything down he did, the whole world couldn't contain it, right? You don't want to hear that. And you're so closed-minded by the devil, right? You wouldn't even want to see a unicorn, even if there was one, or God could make it on the spot, right? You would sooner kill it if you were to see it, right? Or think, oh, that's just your imagination, turn away from it, right? I didn't see that, right? You would deny it, even if you were to see one. Those aren't real. Or think you were going crazy, right? And see, the problem, if you go crazy, you hurt people. When you hurt people and are crazy, you're a danger to society, right? And not just one person, but every person. You don't know fantasy from reality, right? And God is the real reality here, not Satan, the creature too, right? The creature is trying to make itself greater than the creator, right? That's your problem, and you're following that creature not knowing what you're doing, right? You won't get it. Alright, it's done, 44 a.m.